Hi, I'm with Michael Rodriguez, who's got a fight in 2 weeks against Marcin Pacquiao at the Apex Center in Las Vegas. How's training been for you?
It's been really good. It's been a little awkward, but good. Had to find ways to be creative with training and stuff due to all the gyms closed because of COVID. But yeah,
What kind of creative ways have you had to work around during this times?
a lot of times that we're working out, it's like when there's just dead times in the gym where there's no classes or anything like that. Usually when it's closed and everything, or there's times where I'm working in the gym. Next thing you know, I'm working in a friend's garage. It's always different. You never know,
Yeah. So, have you got much sparring for this fight, or have you just been training with your coaches? How's it been?
No, I got a lot of sparring in. My main sparring partner for this whole camp was Ross Levine. He helped big time for this camp.
Good. And so, do you know much about your opponent, like his weaknesses, or where any things you might work upon in terms of his weaknesses?
I know that he is not very. He doesn't do well against lefties. His last two losses against lefties. But I don't know. Don't really know much about him either because it's been 2 years since we've seen him compete. So
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know what he got to bring to the table now.
Yeah. So by the time you've had a really good camp, were you eager to fight during these times, or were you a bit standoffish a bit?
No, I wasn't eager to fight. I was just chilling. I wasn't getting too stir crazy like other guys. I just was laying low, just enjoying the time off.
Yeah. So, in December, you fought in South Korea. I just want to know what you thought it was like there. All the culture, obviously, it's a bit different than the United States crowd or the European crowd. They're a bit more respectful and quiet. Was it a bit? Then that might help you fighting in the Apex.
Fighting in Busan was awesome because they were really quiet, they were really friendly, very nice. They didn't make me feel like an outsider. If anything, they try to make me feel as close to home as possible. Everybody, all the love and attention that the community out there was given, it was just amazing.
Yeah. So do you think that might give you an advantage in the Apex? Because I know it was in front of fans, but it's still going to be in a quiet environment. And
I'm not. I think it's on a favor. It's better because it's like sparring at the gym. It's really quiet. That's how it was when I fought in the Contender Series.
Also, okay, so you've got a lot of experience in it anyway, so which might give you a lot of advantage over your opponent as well. Yeah. Do you think the smaller cage will suit you as well?
You said what?
Do you think the smaller cage will suit you? Might suit your fighting style as well?
Yeah, I like the smaller cage. It doesn't bother me none. I spar in the smaller cage, so I don't see any difference from sparring and actually fighting in a cage, smaller cage.
Yeah. So, who else have you been training with for this fight? You also mentioned Ross Levine. Who else have you been with?
Trained with Sean Lally. Trained with Fabio Chavant. Jacob Andrews. John McNeil. Pretty much it. Those are the guys I've been training with.
Have you been able to train with Joe Lozen in his gym, or has that been closed off?
No. I've been there working. A lot of my sparring has been happening there, just after hours. But yeah, I see him all the time. Talk to him all the time.
How is it working with someone like that, just in general, his wealth of experience, and what kind of advice does he give you, or what advice has he been giving you for this fight?
Just stay focused, and don't sit there and be too patient. Quick but not in a hurry, as we always say.
Yeah. How's quarantine as a whole been for you? Has it been pretty chilled out, or has it been quite stressful?
No, it's been pretty chill, real chill. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it's been chill.
Good. What kind of stuff do you like doing like outside of fighting? Because obviously during the first couple of months you weren't being able to do anything. So how did you keep busy?
Just playing Siege, mainly. Playing Rambles, playing video games, spending time with the family. That's it.
Yeah. Is there anything that's made you think a couple of things during this quarantine, like maybe like for your fighting career, or has it just been pretty much the same?
Wait, repeat that again?
Has like quarantine made you like think anything different about what you want to do with like your fighting career, like make it like, because this fight's been took quite short notice, hasn't it? So do you think you would take fights? Would you rather have a full camp, or are you willing to take up
No,
fights?
no. I don't. This fight, it was announced short notice to people, but this fight, it's been in the works already for, I would say, like 2 months, 3 months. So I had an ample amount of time to prepare for this fight. So yeah, I just been thinking, just staying sharp, staying ready,
Yeah,
focus on the execution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, have you been keeping up with much of the fights going on recently? Like last night?
Not really. I watched last night's fights because my buddy was fighting, but that's about it.
Do you like as fighting's a massive part of your life? Do you try staying away from it, like in your personal life, like if you can, or
do I stay away from fighting? You said?
Yeah, like following like fights, like because it takes so much part of your time up anyway.
Oh no, I love it. So I'm always like tuned in. I was watching the fight before you even called me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which fight were you watching?
Shogun versus Machida 1.
I don't think I really watched that fight because I'm fairly new to the sport, so.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Learning.
You gotta watch it. It's a classic.
Yeah. So did you if you could fight anywhere in the world, where would you want to fight? Like when everything gets back to normal.
I like to fight in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard it's a different experience.
Yeah. So,
or Brazil. I heard Brazil's a wild experience too.
Yeah, the Brazilian are quite hostile, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
And in Japan, I think it's a bit like Korea in terms of they're very respectful. There's not much chanting going on there. They're just like watching, focus on the fights.
Yeah.
Do you think you do you think you will miss the crowds, or do you think they can be a bit of a distraction sometimes? Like, or do you not really notice them when you fight?
I don't really notice them when I fight. I just perform. That's all I gotta do.
So you don't really feel like any pressure with or without them, really?
No.
What was your extent of your amateur career? Did you have any like amateur fights, or did you go straight into the pros?
No, I had amateur fights. I was 4-1 as an amateur.
Yeah, because I think it's really important for for fighters coming through to have amateur experience. Because you see a lot of them who come through don't really have any experience in the amateur, so they are learning on the job as a pro, which is really not the best thing to do. Do you think having the amateur experience has helped you learn a lot before you even got into the pros?
Yeah, you have to have an amateur career now in today's like industry of MMA. You can't. It's not like how it used to be. You could just hop in as a pro. It's not happening no more. You got to have some amateur background. Everybody's like so much better than they were before. Like the fighters today are so much better than the fighters that were around.
Yeah. Saying that if you like get past your opponent on against Marcin, how many more fights do you want this year? Do you want to put out again before the end of the year?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to worry about getting past Marcin right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll just play that by ear.
Because there's also like a lot of shows going on. So if you thought like if you were one, you would want to keep like busy.
Yeah.
Before it. Are you too familiar with Marcin? I know you said you've not been competing for 2 years. Do you know much about him beforehand, or have you only seen what he's done in the UFC?
I only saw like a couple of footage of him fighting before his karate background and when he fought in other organizations, but that's about it.
Okay. Are you worried about any of his like fighting style, or do you think you can deal with everything he brings to you?
No, I'm not worried about any of that.
Good. So, what else do you like doing outside of fighting, apart from like playing games? Like, obviously, like your family man, so you try making sure you spend as much time with your family.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Pretty simple guy.
Yeah. I just got a couple more questions. Have you got any messages for your fans or aspiring fighters who are coming up?
I would say just keep training. Train as hard as you can. Don't necessarily worry about results. Worry about your execution of your performance. And don't try so hard. Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for my first ever interview and spending your time with me. I think you can tell I'm a bit nervous, but I'd love to speak to you again.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Okay. Thank you for joining.
All right, man. Anytime.
See you later.
Later.